Start the pod by saying shout out Eritrea.
Shout them out to the fullest, boy.
Yo, come on, we out here. We just wanna, before we dive into the episode, we just wanna give a big shout out to our brothers and sisters all the way from Eritrea and that.
Yeah.
Independent.
We appreciate you, man.
There. Come on. Come on, shout out to all you guys. All the listeners from Eritrea and that. Come on, flags up. Woo woo.
Oh, I cannot take this guy serious, bro.
Welcome back to another episode of Take It to the Rim podcast with myself, Rods, aka who?
Mr. Sweet.
I'm here with two of the worst fans possible.
Nah.
Introduce us like that.
You're not the worst, man. You're not the worst.
Quite nice to you.
You're not Jazz.
us man of the West Coast connection.
Oh man, we've got Clipper Cam and LA Jules.
What's good?
We back, baby.
And yeah, we're here about to lock in. So making sure that you are liking, sharing, doing all them things there. Yeah.
Subscribing.
Come on, subscribing and that, and just locking in all them things there. So you know what? I don't know if I want to attack the conspiracy theory of Golden State that
Attack
we was
it.
discussing.
Go with it. Go with
Let's
it.
start, man. Let's
Let's
start.
start.
All right, cool. So, in the words of J House, it's a big conspiracy. Golden State Warriors threw Game 4 on purpose.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
That's the.
So explain to me why you guys think that is true.
Okay. So it's well documented that the Warriors are in the luxury tax.
Mm-hmm.
The man are paying big money for their players.
Big bills.
They got Steph on a super duper max. They got Clay on the max. They got Draymond on 20 something M's a year. They've now got Andrew Wiggins on a max contract as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they still have other pieces around that they're gonna have to start paying. Jordan Poole's next to get paid.
Yep.
Kuminga as well. I don't know if they're gonna keep Wiseman. That's another guy to get paid. Them boys are in luxury tax heavy. Yeah,
Heavy.
Mm-hmm.
They in debt.
So in their eyes, they need these home playoff games, bro. They need these home playoff games to generate revenue, the ticket sales. So let's say for regular season, yeah, a game, the price to go see Golden State play Dallas, yeah, regular season doesn't mean much. 20th game of the season, probably about $100, yeah. Playoff time now, that ticket goes up to $5 to a bag.
I checked it the other day when I was looking at just tickets randomly.
How much?
It's about $350 to $400.
Bro,
was the cheapest.
That's for the seats where the birds are.
Yeah. You up
there. That's bird's eye view.
You sitting up there with a 2015 banner, bro. 100%. So the conspiracy is that the Joe Lacob, Bob Myers, they had a quick word with Steph and Steve Kerr. They're like, listen, guys, we need you to bring one more home. Bring the game back to the Chase Center. It's still relatively new. This is the first year they've had proper playoff basketball. Let's generate a little bit more money in the ticket sales and get one more game in.
Yeah.
Let's get one more game. So they said, don't throw it. Don't do a Memphis where you lose by, at some points 50 and end up losing by a mad total. But little cheeky 10-point, make people think Luka's better than he is, and we'll bring it back home next game. So I think, not only do I think the Warriors technically threw that game, I think part of it is definitely in the fact that I think Dallas just had to win. I think Golden State, when first of all, Dallas were hitting crazy amounts of threes. Like crazy amounts of threes. Dallas most games have been shooting about 40 threes a game, which is slightly insane when you think about it. Like that's really crazy how many threes they shoot a game. But they were hitting, man. Like when Finney Smith starts hitting, when Bullock starts hitting, you got Bertans who starts hitting as well. They're a tough team to beat, and this is how Dallas have gotten as far as they have. Don't get me wrong, they really have struggled to show up in a lot of these games so far in this series, and that's probably why they're down 3-0. But I think Dallas just had to win one. It would have been crazy. My agenda against Luka would have been insane if Luka got swept. Insane, man.
Nah, he's not a Brooklyn net. But
Rodney catching strays.
I didn't even do anything. I didn't even do anything. But I didn't even do anything.
Shut up for the pod, bro. That's what you did.
yeah. Wait, you still ain't got the top.
I said it in the last one. It's for the whole of June. I'm gonna wear it for June.
But
It's June next week,
I hear that.
no top,
Okay.
I hear that.
So first of all, in that game alone, I felt like Golden State were they were in the process of getting blown out. If we're being honest,
Yeah.
But if you watch the fourth quarter of that game, the starters didn't really touch the court. Like Moses Moody,
Yeah.
he was getting quite a lot of minutes. Kuminga was getting a lot of minutes.
Jordan Poole's back to the full out there
but
doing what he wants.
Bro, but they started going on a run though.
Yeah.
Like towards Luka had to come back in the game to kind of X that one off, and it ended up being a 10-point game. I mean, the lead was a lot bigger than the final score suggests.
Because they told them boys, yo, like cool a young timeout and that.
100%.
They called the boys and said, yo, you lot are doing too much. I know you can take this game back, but relax. Like,
Yeah, come on.
we got peace to make. Do you want to be here next year?
Come on.
We got peace to make, G. Relax.
I'm not sure about this conspiracy thing you
Relax,
man are running.
100%, because that's one of the way they can generate revenue.
It
and still
is.
go into the luxury
It is
tax
funny,
and
but
still keep Wiggins.
I doubt it.
I'm telling you, they scammers. They
100%,
scammers.
We have to have conspiracies on this pod, otherwise it's not a pod.
It's true.
100%.
But we gonna run with it because it's our pod, bitches. Golden State trying to do
Unless
this.
Steve Kerr and Bob Myers directly tell us otherwise, it is true. It is true.
Can't get this.
You know what 50
internet's
Cent on
not
Power
working today.
said? That nigga did that shit. He's guilty as fuck.
He guilty as fuck.
Guilty. But in terms of like how the series has gone and how each team are performing, what do you lot think?
I think there's two things to it, innit? Like, I think Dallas can look back and be like, firstly, like, Golden State are a different beast, innit? I think we can acknowledge that there's levels to this. That even though they've spent years out of this whole championship phase, they are still
levels to this winning shit, bro.
That's it. Like, there's different. When you're talking about championship winning teams, championship coach, championship caliber players, the backroom staff, the GM, everything about that organization is elite.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to hold your hands up and be like, you know what, we're not as good as them.
Facts.
But from a Dallas view, and where they'll probably be annoyed, is that there's moments in this series that if other players, like I remember in game 3, Reggie Bullock didn't make a shot. You know, he was 0 for 10. Unprofessional ass. Sending texts during the pod. But no, in game 3, Reggie Bullock was 0 for 10. He was bricking every shot.
That's insane.
And for someone that plays as much, and he's been quite good over this whole playoffs.
Playoff run.
He's been pretty good. Like, he's been reliable. But you just look at it that those are the moments that if he has a 16-point game or whatever he had yesterday, that might have edged off to another win. Do you know what I mean? Which would have made it an even series right now. And then there's other moments where, like, Dinwiddie, Doncic have had a good game, but Brunson hasn't, or Brunson and Doncic has, but Dinwiddie hasn't. And then, so if they all just gelled and had everyone playing well, like the Golden State have consistently had other than yesterday, that's where, as a Dallas Maverick point of view, you would be like, that's where we can improve. But being as anyone that understands basketball, they would never have beaten Golden State. They're just too good, innit?
High key. I think one thing does need to be said, and I'm very harsh on Luka, but I'm harsh on Luka because the media uplift him too much, in my opinion. Luka came out and said, bro, I'm still learning. I'm 23 years old. And this is what I think needs to be emphasized as well, innit? He is not a finished product. He is not the guy that everyone keeps saying he is, because even he'll say he's still learning. He's still got a lot of learning to do. LeBron at 23 had a lot of learning to do. KD at 23 had a lot of learning to do. KD at 23 was getting bounced in the finals by LeBron and Cleveland in 5 or 6. I think it was 5. Like there's a lot of progression that needs to happen in your career for you to get to that kind of status in the NBA. Don't get me wrong, there's a very good chance he'll win an MVP in the next few years, even though he's been a front runner to win it for the last 3 and hasn't.
Thing is, you complimented him all that way, then you still had to shut
No,
him down.
no. But this is what I'm saying. The media keep trying to make him out like he's something he's not. And I'm not saying that he's bad at all. He's not bad, but he's just not what we want him to, or what they want him necessarily to be yet. I'm not saying he won't ever get there, but for now, just let the guy, he's still on a rookie contract, isn't it? Like let him get his
crazy,
let him get out here in the league, get some years under his belt, and then he'll be seasoned it. But and in fairness to him, he started off with he's had 2 first round exits in the playoffs, and now he's in the conference finals. Got his first win in the conference finals. Shout out to Luka. Dallas do definitely need to improve though. Like you said, there's a massive disparity between what's going on in Golden State and what's going on in Dallas. Like you, and I think Jason Kidd, I wouldn't even say the coaches necessarily yet. I think it's Golden State have far too many weapons.
Yeah,
far too many. Like Steph and Clay do not need to have. Steph and Clay could probably have 18 points and they'll probably still win the game just because of the contributing factors they have. The fact that Dallas don't like to play inside, and that's the reason they won that game, because they stopped settling for threes. They were pump faking and driving. They were scoring inside, which they hardly ever were doing in the previous games. They were just jacking up threes. They were still.
Did Golden State just open up the paint so that they can generate this revenue?
Conspiracy.
We gonna put all this
telling
shit
me
out.
they haven't done it for 3 games, and all of a sudden elimination game. Walk right in there, guys.
I think Dallas did. As much as I love a conspiracy, I think Dallas did just show them something different. I think Dallas didn't allow themselves to settle. And I think they've realised what we've been doing the last 3 games has not been working. Do I think Dallas are going to win Game 5? No. I don't think Golden State allow it. I think Golden State come home, they take care of business. I think it'll be like a 15-point win, Golden State. Luka probably still has a great game. Because even if you look at the box score though, like Luka had 30, 14 and 9.
Yeah,
nearly got a triple.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call that triple. I don't care. Take one of the rebounds off and give him an assist. That's crazy stats to be putting up. And when you consider that Dinwiddie didn't necessarily have a great game, Brunson didn't necessarily have a great game. He got contribution from, like I said, guys like Finney Smith who dropped 23. Bullock had 18 as well. I think Dallas really, really, really need to do whatever they need to do to get themselves a really good bet. Just because you can't play a game where every single player in your team is on the 3-point line. It does not work like that.
Yeah.
And in some cases you may look at that as from a coach's standpoint and be like, well, we spaced the floor. But you're spacing the floor for what? Everyone's on the 3-point line. You're not spacing the floor because everyone's on the 3-point line. Granted, it might give Luka a lane to go to the basket, but ideally, you need to get yourself an interior defender. Gobert's perfect for that, and get yourself someone who's basically just gonna goal hang on offense as well and just look for lobs. Shout out to them because again, they've done a lot to get to this point, but they're just not good enough, innit? If I will say, however, if Dallas somehow win Game 5. This series is going to 7.
Do you reckon?
Yes. I would not want to have to play Dallas Game 6 in Dallas. Series 3-2. I don't see them necessarily losing that. And I feel like maybe I'm overreaching, but at the same time, you can't give these boys anything because Phoenix did that and look what happened to them. And granted, people were playing like booty. But Christopher was playing out of his ass.
We're still calling him Christopher,
Nah, he's getting that until I see something else from him. I wouldn't want to give Dallas any room to maneuver in any way, shape, or form.
Boy, Finney Smith, like I say, in every series he's gonna have one good game. Then there's never gonna happen again, which has literally been. That's what he's been consistent in. He'll have one good game. Everything else is just raw.
Yeah. They got pretty far with him doing that there.
To be fair though, remember this Tim Hardaway Jr. is not there, and he is a big factor to this offense. Like
he's taking minutes away from someone who's playing right now though. That is a fact.
He is, but he's someone that he's a reliable scorer in terms of he can give you 15 to 20 pretty comfortably.
I say Reggie would be coming off the bench and Tim Hardaway would be there.
Yeah.
And
then 100%. what Reggie's doing off the bench, he can maybe do.
That's why I do understand Dallas still needs to improve and such. Tim Hardaway, I'm not saying he's the truth. I'm not saying that at all.
Man said he's prime reality.
You the truth. But he does have a decent skill set, which is where, and he does do a thing where it's like he will take the ball out of Luka's hands sometimes and do whatever because he don't care. Like he don't care. But when he was doing that, there wasn't others. Like they didn't have, let's say, Dinwiddie there to also who they can work with. Where once they came off, it just all went downhill.
Yeah, word.
So yeah, definitely Dallas needs to improve. I think the game that Luka played, I think that sort of game is perfect for the team where it allows him to get involved, but he still gets his and still gets to do what he needs to do.
He started the game quite poorly, you know. He wasn't shooting. Yeah,
he started poorly and he didn't shoot as much. So then when it mattered, and he started to get a rhythm,
that was it.
And that's where obviously is dangerous.
I remember I've mentioned it before. Luka's someone that he's a streaky scorer. Like when he's hot, that's it.
He'll run off 18 points like that.
That very quickly.
Yeah.
Within a 6 to 8 minute burst, give him the ball, boom, 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 boom. Then he'll maybe drop off or whatever it might be.
It's like having a calm down. That's what it is with him. man popped a perk and he starts coming down every single game. I think Dallas's winning formula is him getting everyone else going first.
Yeah.
Because like you said, he's a streaky scorer. At some point in the game, he's going to do the exact same thing he always does and have that 6 to 8 minute window, like you said, where he runs off 18 to 20 points and no one's really stopping him.
Yeah.
So I feel like their best formula is Luka getting 5 assists in the first quarter, making sure that the ball's distributed, and it keeps the defense honest as well. I feel like when he is way more ball dominant to start a game and teams are doubling him early and the only shots that his teammates are getting are 5 seconds on the shot clock, pass out of a double team. It's a pressured shot, innit? And especially if they're not touching the ball often or getting it in the exact spot they want. I think it's much better if you get those guys going early. And I feel like yesterday, when Dallas were playing in game 4, I think their guys got going early, especially because, like I said, Luka didn't necessarily have the greatest start, but he had that burst that we were just talking about where he goes on a scoring run, and all of a sudden the guys drop points.
But to even add to that, yeah, like especially in the playoffs and like when it gets serious, is the clutch, innit? We're talking the last 5-6 minutes of the fourth. What you need is not a tired Luka that's been doing hero ball from the first quarter. You need a Luka that's made his shots, that's ready to say, boom, I'm going to take the game by the scruff of his neck and try and win this. And even with that, even if it's not just me, I've got my teammates that I've been scoring within this game that can maybe make shots if I give it to them. So you can't do this whole hero ball in the first quarter and expect a miracle from your teammates when you're like 25 points down. Like,
Word.
So it does need to be consistent, but I do want to quickly touch on his elimination games, like his stats.
I don't think he's lost one, has he? Is he like 4-0 or something like that?
It can't be this year. Sorry,
no, just talking in general. So it's last night he got 39. Well, he got 38, 14 and 9. Then he had 39, 9 and 9, 46, 7 and 14, 33, 11 and 8, and 35, 10 and 4.
Those are all elimination games.
All elimination games.
That's what that was at 5, 4, 5.
This is his 5th one. So, the next game will be the 6th.
Yeah.
He's had a lot of elimination games, isn't it?
Was that a good show?
38. I mean, you have to give credit. The guy's won.
Of course,
yeah, I understand.
He's won a couple of the big ones.
But at the end of the day, you got to give him credit because it's an elimination game, and why are you laughing? Though?
But you're not rating his thing.
Why are you laughing?
What are we talking about here?
Okay, no credit. You know this. I'm just saying, elimination game, he showed up. Elimination game for certain people didn't show up. So
just got eliminated.
Not that they didn't, but they in it. They got folded. So, boy, don't know where I'm going with this.
No, look, I hear what you're saying. Like I said, innit, his playoff resume isn't great, so that's why I'm not really like fussed about the numbers he's putting up in elimination games, because I don't know what the stats are in those. He might have put up big numbers. I guarantee he lost at least 2 of those games.
No, he definitely did, because the
elimination games, he's been eliminated a few times. I don't necessarily think like I said, I'm telling you, the best Luka or the winning team Luka is when Luka has a 26-point triple double or a 28-point triple double. When he starts getting into the 30s and the 40s, isn't he like he was 0-4 in games where he has 40 points in the playoffs.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You definitely saw that one too as well.
And I think that emphasizes my point as well. Like the best outcome for the team is not when he's taking and to be fair, he shoots about 20 to 22 shots a game. That's his normal one. But I think when he has the 40 points, it's rarely an efficient 40, meaning the ball isn't moving. He's doing a lot of and he was doing a lot of his step backs, man. He takes a lot of difficult shots, so I have to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spend too much time talking. Granted, Dallas won the game. Shout out to them. But I really think the emphasis on the series needs to be that Golden State are the best team in the playoffs right now, and that
I think anyone saw it. Like you saw glimpses of it before Clay came when they were the 1 seed. When Steph was in the MVP ranking, the MVP voting prior Christmas and whatever.
It's been a long year.
It's
Steph
been
was my MVP this year.
He was balling out, and they were all balling out.
He was about to give. He was giving it to him by Christmas.
I said, bro, take that, man. That's you.
To be fair, he was so far ahead. I didn't, but he just dropped that the percentages of him.
It was that
3-point
scoring.
record,
Yeah, 100%.
From then it's just boom, broke like glass. But no, I do hear that in terms of Golden State being the best team. I do want to say yes. I do want to say yes. But
I feel like want to say yes.
I feel like the Celtics can snag it still.
Are you? No, that's your opinion, isn't it?
I feel like the Celtics can snag. I feel like the Celtics. Do you know it's because they've.
So Golden State are not the best team.
I think the Celtics, granted, they have faced issues, injuries, troubles, all them things there.
Yeah.
And haven't been at full strength, and they've still kind of been on par.
Yeah,
but they've kind of been on par. So they've been at a disadvantage, and they've been battling in terms of performing with Golden State. So I think let's relax, and we're giving Golden State. They're the best team. I mean, they're going against one man and some change.
You're talking out your ass.
No. I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. Have you? Do you smoke loud? Honestly. Because you're moving like you bun the maddest
you move
zoot, bro, like and you come on this pod
like shit weed.
The
brown stuff.
that tie, that dead tie, bro. That no one wants.
First of all, loud is a volume. Yeah, let's
loud is a volume.
I'm Uncle Codemo. Some may say yes, others may say no. I just think that they've been at full. Golden State have been at full force. They're taking advantage of a great opportunity, going up against a team where it heavily relies on one person, and if ever other sharp is like a miracle, hey, well done. You know what I mean? Whereas, now let's even take for example when it was going against Memphis, they was getting a run for their money.
Who?
Golden State.
Okay, but they won.
Yeah, I hear that, but because they broke the code. Because the code was broken. Ja was out.
No one thought Memphis. No one seriously thought Memphis was gonna win that series. Bro, listen, and I hear what you're saying. All the matchups are like, until you get in the game and you watch Golden State play. Golden State play the same way against every single team. It doesn't matter the strength of the team. Bro, it does not matter at all.
You go get that work.
Everyone's getting the
they
same
were
work.
in 6 against Memphis, right?
Yeah.
Was it in 6?
Yeah.
And 2 games without Ja.
Yeah.
Yeah, but end of the day, bro, you got to look at it as
what does that mean?
They're second seed and they're third
1 in
seed.
6, 2 games without
Second
Ja.
and third seed.
Have Ja there.
It's
game
the playoffs.
7, maybe Grizzlies take it. You never know.
You're bugging.
You never know.
Nah, he wants to come on the whole.
It probably been a bit more entertaining, but at the same time, you have to remember that the Grizzlies put up a mad score total without Jordan Brown. That wasn't happening if he was there. It just probably wouldn't have anyway. However,
yeah, but when it comes to closing,
yeah,
Ja's the guy. But when Ja's not there,
Ja missed the layup, bro.
It's like
Ja's the guy. He missed the layup.
No, it was Steph Curry who stripped him.
No, he missed the
layup.
layup
As well.
He ran from like the bloody end of the other court, tried to do a bloody running back in the NFL, fam.
Huh?
They know who their closer is when Ja's there, rather than playing hot potato between the other guys, and you're having Jaren Jackson putting up for a dumbass free that Draymond Green gets his hands on.
They probably drew.
Yeah, I'll be honest, yeah. No, but Rod, you got to take this in. I think, and I'll say this wholeheartedly, Boston Celtics are better than the Miami Heat, in my opinion.
I agree.
But I think Boston will completely freeze in the NBA final stage. It's a different level.
I don't think they'll freeze.
Compared to a team like Golden State. Listen, no, let me land. Compared to a team like Golden State, who are seasoned championship winning team like Golden State that have won, lost, they've done it all in these finals. A lot of this team have been there, done that, bro. A team like Miami, if they get through, because they've been and they lost in the finals a couple years ago.
They know how to lose.
they know how to lose, but they were there. Like Boston, it's a new thing completely, and I think literally Golden State have this. Like I would bet everything I had that Golden State would win this.
The point I was making was that Golden State are the best team in these playoffs, and I still stand by that. They're and the reason they're definitely better than Boston is because, like he said, they've been there, done it all. There's nothing that this team haven't seen. Nothing.
Don't think Boston's freezing though.
I don't think they're freezing.
No, not. I'm not saying freezing to that extent, but it's
you know,
the lights.
You know the game they had in Game 3 where Jason Tatum went he went like 3 of 14 or something like that. They're gonna have one of those in the finals. Because they're young, it just happens.
Whose defense is much
Golden State.
So do you think Golden State defense?
Golden State team defense.
No.
The way they defend as a team.
Miami's defense is.
Oh, Miami! I thought about Boston.
No, I'm saying in terms of defense, whose defense is better, Miami or Golden State? Or who would you say is better? Or who would you say is worse to
Miami
face?
are probably a better defensive team. I think Golden State are very good, or have identified a very good way in which to slow down a one-man type team, like Denver, I
wouldn't say Memphis.
Dallas.
Not so much
Memphis, which is why they have some issues at times.
Not so much Memphis, but yeah, I would say Miami are probably a better defensive team.
And going up against a more, let's say, torturing defensive team like Miami, Golden State aren't going to throw the exact same. Not saying their game plan is going to be terrible.
Yeah.
However, if that intensity isn't the same there that they're facing against, whereas they've come from a sluggish, hefty physical battle from Miami's defense, now they come to Golden State Warriors, and let's be honest, Clay's defense is not the same as it was before.
It's a different fight though. You're not playing against Golden State worrying about their defense. They're worrying about their offense, bro.
That's what I was going to say.
That's
literally what I was going to say.
Boston have had problems scoring in some games as well.
Against Miami.
Against a lot of
very best. These series,
but
this series has been blowouts in every bloody game with these teams.
They've had struggle issue a bit, but against teams that are better defensively than Golden State, Bucks, Miami, and let's not forget that Bucks were also there in the finals as well. So that's not saying that it was a preview, but it's a feeling. Just because
I hear what you're saying.
These are the champs, and they absolutely dominated.
Yeah,
and we've got fair enough, cool, no Middleton, so it's a bit different. However, you're still getting that feel. So I think that coming against Golden State now, it'll be, especially the defense that Boston also do play, it will match well against Golden State if they was to get through.
I just think I don't see how anyone stops them. I don't see anyone winning 4 games before they doing it. That's my argument, and I can argue this all day, innit? Nobody will win 4 games before Golden State does. And I think they're going to win the NBA Finals. They're going to be the champs this year based off that.
God forbid.
I think you look at
God forbid. No way.
Golden State are just the most complete team in my opinion. I think they have.
God forbid. No
I don't
way.
think that. You should relax.
No,
This guy started rolling up his sludge and just socks on.
I think they're the best offensive team here left in the playoffs, and they're definitely not the worst defensive team at all. Because Dallas is still in the playoffs. I think Miami would struggle against Golden State. I think Boston would struggle against Golden State. However, I think it often comes down to who has the better players or the best player in the series, isn't it? What are you going to say now?
That will always be Steph.
What are you going to say now?
What are you going to say? Tatum? You really going to say Tatum?
Huh?
You really going to say Tatum?
Yeah.
over Steph.
All NBA first team.
Are you crazy?
Superstar.
Over Steph.
Bro, that, as I said, that loud.
As long as, you know, as long as the Golden State Warriors are down 2, that's calm, because Steph won't make shots when they're down 2. Shout out my boy, Matthew Dellavedova.
He didn't say that, you know. That was definitely a fake tweet.
I don't care.
It's tweeted by Bullsack Sports, bro. That's what it is.
That ain't Dellavedova.
Yeah, but Bullsack ain't wrong.
Bro,
Bullsack ain't wrong.
it's not true.
Warriors down 2, Steph is nowhere to be
That is
seen.
cap.
It's not cap.
That is
Come on,
cap.
man.
Because Steph is not clutch.
Game 3.
Steph is not clutch.
You're chatting shit. Game 3, yeah.
He's not clutch. He's not been
This
as
guy don't watch
clutch.
ball. This guy don't watch ball.
Okay, he's not been. He's not been as clutch.
Steph Curry's not clutch.
No, I'm saying that
Game-
when it
game
comes to
three-
playoffs, when it comes to playoffs,
Yeah.
when it comes to playoffs,
Yeah.
and always taking that shot to really
Ice the game.
ice it
Yeah.
is not Steph.
You're lying. So game 3, yeah, when
It's not Steph.
when Golden State were losing to Dallas, and it was like an 18-point deficit at halftime, right?
Dallas, come on, man.
What do you want to talk about?
Oh,
We're talking about deficits, yeah.
Steph Curry also ranks as the highest scorer in postseason during clutch situations, which is defined as the game being within 5 points or less.
When he talks shit, man.
Cap.
When he talks shit, man, say cap.
So you're gonna argue the stats?
The Inter is undefeated, bro. It doesn't lie.
And it does lie.
It doesn't lie. You
Bullsack
lie.
Sports.
You lie.
Bullsack Sports. Internet. Lie.
Man's referencing Bullsack Sports. Listen, I've got Golden State closing out this series in 5.
As they should.
However, if Dallas win game 5, they're winning game 6 as well.
I actually agree with that because I think that atmosphere that
It's enough, man.
Yeah,
It-
but
and it
they've got
takes
the
you
best
trying-
player, so
Who?
Golden State,
They do have the best player.
they have the best player in the series, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so even if they lose this next game, they should win the whole series.
Eventually, yeah.
So if they lose this game 5, if they lose game 5,
I got Dallas winning game 6 as well.
okay. So if they lose game 5 and 6, you think Golden State's still win in 7?
Yes.
Nope.
no teams ever
If-
come from 3-0 down.
Until the Mavs. Listen, if
You know, someone bet 50k on it
on Dallas to win,
to come back and they'll get 1.2
If I was a
mil.
millionaire, that's light, bro.
like the thing is, yeah, if Dallas win game 5 and 6, it's over for the Warriors.
It's not.
It's a repeat, exactly like the
Do
Suns.
you know how many times this happened in history? That teams, there's 4 occasions that teams have come from 3-0 down, and it gets the game. 2 got to game 6, 1's got to game 7. It ends up in L's, bro.
That's fine. History gets changed every day, B. So I'm telling you, that momentum is carrying them through.
It'll be nice to see Luka play Tatum in the final, anyway.
Yeah, so
But yeah, I've
showing
got
me the
Golden
robustness.
State. Golden State are far too locked in, especially. And I'm not saying Gary Payton is all world player. However, he looks like he's almost back
Bro, he's doing drop steps in the post as
at
a
6'2". Nuts.
Nuts, but
Nuts.
also against Dallas, yeah.
Have you seen? You play 2K, right?
Yes, of course.
Have you seen what his position is on 2K?
What is
Shooting guard / center.
Hmm?
On 2K, his position is shooting guard / center.
Like, it's nuts that he's doing that. But if he's a center, like, okay, well, anyone in Dallas, cool, you can do that.
Yeah, 'cause everyone plays in the perimeter.
Everywhere else, you're not doing that.
And him and Steph, yeah, had a better pick and roll combo than LeBron and AD. You don't want to ride that. You don't want to ride that wave.
Get out.
It was crazy.
Get out.
It was crazy.
That take came right from the bottom of your shoe, because that is unbelievable. What?
No, it was a great pick and roll, man. Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire. that kind of energy, bro.
Well, we all know he's got fake MVPs apparently. But anyway,
Go on.
I'd say Golden State,
In.
finish it in 5. Like, gentlemen's have to. If not, they've lost this series.
I think I called it at the beginning of the series. I said it will be a gentleman's sweep, and I think it still will be, in it. Don't see anything bar Golden State win.
Yeah.
At the is it the Oracle? What is it? Is it the Oracle?
It's that Chase now.
Chase, sorry, Chase. That's it, Chase.
Chase Center.
It is over. Over in 5.
Let's
So sliding
let's
over
do-
to
let's do
ECF
Boston
just
series.
before we touch on All NBA, where certain men are starting to say.
No, this series is pissing me off, bro.
What?
Because like,
You think it's dragging?
consistency.
no, like it's like no, it's not dragging. It's a great series, but it's just the fact that Like Miami batters Boston, then Boston batter Miami, then Miami batters Boston, and Boston batter Miami. Like, it's like, why can't you just play and actually be like, ooh, there's a game-winning shot? Like, why is it in like the third quarter you man are ready to bring out your bench because the battering is so much? It's like a 30-40 point deficit that ends up being a 10 point. But it's like, why do you keep doing this to each other? Can't you just play?
I said it was going to be tick for tat just because.
But this is mad, bro. Like, we're talking the differential in points between the games.
This was always
is one of the highest in NBA history.
This was always going to happen because in terms of the way they do their defense is quite similar. And because Miami offensively, they're not super gifted.
Can we not
have their moments.
Let's land on that though. The starting five of Miami averaged the lowest in playoff history. Well, since the stats were recorded in the 1980s, 18 points. The whole starting
for
five.
game 4.
Yeah,
because
total points of the starting.
If Jimmy's not
lineup.
going, it's peak.
Hero wasn't playing either as well. You have to remember that as well. Like they were missing their whole offense, and people were saying there's definitely going to be at least one game where I think Nick Wright said it. He said there's definitely one game where Miami come out and they're garbage and they struggled to put up 80 points, and they had like 82 or 83 in total in the game.
82.
Bro, that's bad offense. But at the same time, when you look at the way that it happened, they were terrible in the first, and they sorted out by the second quarter. They just the deficit was just too big at that point. They were never going to catch them. But they were I'd say they were only really really bad for the first quarter. But obviously, it's a similar hole that Boston dug themselves, where in game 3, where Boston came out and they were shooting horrible. I think Miami were up like 24-3 or something like that in the first quarter. That's tough to come back, and Boston almost did come back in that game.
They got back to 1, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then it just
and then Miami swung it back open again. But yeah, Miami, and it's an up and down thing. But this is part of the reason why I strongly believe that Boston will be able to take this series in the next 2 as well, because of the fact that Miami have injuries. Their style of play as well is so heavily reliant upon certain players. In game 3, when they had that big lead, Bam was playing like we've never seen Bam play in this series. Like, Bam hasn't played like this the whole playoffs. And he had one really really good game. It would be great to see him do this on a more regular basis to justify his max contract. But at the same time, I just don't think it's possible. I think Tatum's had his bad game now. One thing that he needs to sort out.
He's had 2 bad games. The losses have been bad.
He needs to sort out these turnovers though, because that's the only reason why they keep losing as well. Because Boston are throwing the ball away, and it's partially it's due to I can't even say inexperience anymore, because a lot of those guys have been here and done it now, innit? They've been to the conference finals.
Tatum's doing a mistake that KD was doing, where he's sometimes bringing up the ball, like. But then when Marcus Smart was he playing? He wasn't playing.
He didn't play in game 4.
Yeah, and usually
game 3, game 4.
Game 4.
Yeah.
And usually he will have that, and then Tatum gets the ball and he spots to prevent these turnovers. But like, it started to happen when Tatum became a bit more had the ball more. He needed
it though. After what happened
in his half, don't get it in his half.
Slightly after what happened in that Bucks game where Marcus Smart had those turnovers, I would take the ball out of his hands.
But as long as you inbound into Smart, just inbound and then get it. Just because that's a lot of those turnovers happening in those ways.
Yeah, it's the staggered double that they're sending at Jason Tatum, which he's struggling to pass out of. Where they've got one guy playing basically press on him at the 3-point line,
zone almost,
and they've got another guy basically playing like zone in that gap between him and the. So when the double starts coming to him, the second guy is playing like a soft cover. So the second that ball releases, the guy's already in the passing lane, ready to take it to the other end. And Jimmy's been causing him problems. I won't deny that. Jimmy's definitely been causing him problems. But I just genuinely believe they're going to be able to overcome it. I think more needs to be said about Ime Udoka as well. And his consistency to have a solution to near enough every problem that's come up in front of him.
The whole playoffs.
You know, like from them being able to shut down KD, because that they genuinely did. They shut down KD and Kyrie for the whole series. Yeah. Even when KD was having better scoring games, when Kyrie was having better scoring games, they still weren't playing at 100% of their ability because of the defense that was put in front of them.
Was really poor. Yeah.
The Bucks as well. They
good.
didn't have Middleton. However, they had answers to everything the Bucks were putting in front of him. And now we're seeing in this Miami series, people were worried after Miami beat Boston in game 1
because they battered them.
People were very very worried. But game 2 they came out like nothing happened, and I think that's another reason why it's good that these guys are so young, because they're You know, like when you're a kid, you fall over, you get straight up. It's not a thing, innit?
Yeah.
Only when you get old, you start feeling the pain that of being on the ground. I say old.
Probably the embarrassment of
Yeah,
being
man.
falling.
As a child, you don't give a shit about that. You get straight up. And that's how it is with these young guys, isn't it? Like, they brush off the L and come back next game like nothing happened. And you need that in this, man. You need to have a very short-term memory in terms of things that you've gotten wrong, so that when it now comes to the next game, you're playing fearless again, man. And you saw some of the shots that Tatum was taking. I saw him take one where he took like a post spin fade on the right side of the key, and he shouldn't have taken. That's a bad shot to take, but he was in that mode where he's like, yeah, everything's going in. Let me kind of do my thing. It was good to see, man. I don't really want to see Miami win another game. I can't see Miami win another game. For me to be right, Boston have to win the next two.
Yeah, it's just that I think Jimmy's soreness caught up to him in that game, and that's why it was pure garbage. Game 5 now, I don't know. Obviously, not having Hero there, I expect everyone else to kind of be back full force on both sides. But yeah, like say Miami, no Hero, and that's like one of their main scorers.
No Hero.
Jimmy was just out of it. Like
Jimmy had 12. Is that right?
6
points.
I'm sure it was Jimmy
Let me
had
get the stats.
Yeah, he had 6 points.
Playing to his true potential.
This guy's fucked.
Jimmy had 6 points. He was out.
Don't rest on
It
this.
was Oladipo who came alive. Like
Yeah, Oladipo ball that he got 20 something, didn't
They
he?
should probably consider starting him. It's just that they've been loving the Vincent Strauss, kind of
connection,
kind of dynamic here. The undrafted brothers who are just hungry.
But
Out
bro,
here.
Strauss 15 minutes, 0 points. Like
Stinker.
Vincent 6 points.
Stinker.
Obviously 7 assists, 6 points following Jimmy and that. But like
They were all arse, man. That
even Duncan Robinson played a few minutes. He even got 14 points.
I'm telling you, somehow Miami are. I think it's quite likely now they're going to somehow turn a few of these players into Donovan Mitchell.
I just think you might as well give Duncan Robertson a go.
Slightly, he came on in was it? I don't know if it was game.
It was game 4 when
he was.
That's what Rodney was saying. He got 14 points. It's like everyone knows he's a mad liability defensively, innit? But offensively, the guy can get shots, innit? Especially if you're missing Tyler Hero and like the way Lowry's been in and out with injuries and you might as well, because you know Bam's not going to do what he did in game 3.
Yeah,
over the course of the series.
Jimmy didn't play that whole game, did he?
No. Remember he came out half time in game 3.
And it's like Bam, and it was like kind of a thing where Lowry and Bam was kind of forming a good connection during that game.
Oladipo defensively came on really
that was
effective.
A big factor. But it's like this thing is like with Bam against this sort of team, I don't see him being. He's not like playing like himself.
No, but this is what separates a star from a superstar. Bam's not a superstar.
Oh, we all know that. No, Bam's not.
No, but then this is what we have to. This is what it's sometimes when people want to elevate and talk about superstars and stars and
it's showing up.
This is what it's about, isn't it? Like you look at the likes of Tatum. Like you can even allude to Butler in the playoffs. Like these are superstars, but stars are Bam Adebayo, innit? Like this is all he can give you a one game when you're like, yo, you're moving brazy.
And Bam's still good. He's not saying Bam's not.
No, Bam is a very good.
Yeah,
like it centers, he's still up there.
He's just, but it's one of the ones where he's not getting as much shots or time on the ball as before when it was him and Jimmy had to be.
But what I don't like about Bam, and this is something that I've been seeing over this series, is the Miami Heat. The Heat are running switches, and some of the switches that they're running are pretty decent switches. Like he gets a post up. I saw it against Jaylen Brown. He backs him, but then he moves away, and he's like he ends up taking a really awkward fadeaway. Yeah. I'm like, but you could have just backed him to the basket and made it so much easier for yourself. Yeah. You're bigger than the guy. I know you're not the biggest and tallest center. I don't even think you like 6'8" center. A lot of centers are taller than you, but you should be able to back up Jaylen Brown. Get your point. Do you know what I mean? Like he makes it too hard for himself, and I think when you're at this crunch time where it's playoffs, everything counts. You can't really be having these moments where you're not doing your job.
Yeah, I agree. But also, I think part of it is the undersized center thing, man. It's complicated in in terms of what you do with him. Don't get me wrong, Bam is and I'd say for a centre, he's probably one of the best perimeter defenders. The league does probably have. I'm trying to think of someone who's better than him, but because he's still able to move his feet and kind of keep in front of guys. But you don't want to see him having to defend certain players. But also, it's just that he's an undersized centre who isn't necessarily the greatest shooter.
Yeah, because the thing is, during the regular season, he was taking a lot of these mid-range shots. I'm thinking, okay, he'll do it all regular season. So come post-season time, you can do it.
And he did it in Game 3. I saw him taking some like mid-range drop shots in Game 3.
But he was getting more of a rhythm where in here it's not like he gets a rhythm. So by the time he takes that shot, it's like I'm not in rhythm, hesitant, miss. I won't do it. And then it's like, okay, now he's playing out of his game, whatever. And so it's just one of the ones where I'm saying Miami are absolutely done out here, but they have some issues to sort out.
And let me even touch on one more thing about Bam, innit? Like, and this is what's been annoying me even more than some of the poor decision making. It's his efficiency is really good. Like, even in Game 2, he shot 4 for 5. In Game 1, he was really high again. And it's like, but if you just shoot more, you be a bit more aggressive and assert yourself in the game, you might score more. Like, you're gonna miss some, but then again, even with his missing, this is what I'm criticizing, is you have to make better decisions if you're posting up players or what you're doing in the paint. You can't be taking fades where you're cutting out and you're making it harder for yourself against smaller guys. Even though you're undersized, you're still bigger than most guys on the court. So you got to make that count. And when you're a max player, when you are probably the second, I don't know if he's been paid more than he is paid more than, he's the second highest paid player in that team, innit? People look at you. I don't know if he's paid more than Lowry or not, innit? But
Second or third, yeah.
People look at you to be like, especially with Jimmy still being partially injured and he was out in Game 3 and in Game 4 he wasn't himself. They look at you to be like, you know what, get us through, bruv.
Yeah.
And you got to because I don't know how they're going to beat the Boston Celtics if he doesn't show up.
We say this, but then Miami do have. So in the games that Miami have won, is it due to Boston being less than themselves, or Miami being the better team on the day?
I think it was Boston being a bit less of themselves, just because Tatum was off. He weren't making the shots that he usually makes.
But they forced
turnovers
that.
every single
But they're forcing it. I think it's a balance of both,
but
though. They're forcing that.
Because even there's the games where he is turning the ball over, but he's still making shots and kind of making up for the turnovers. Whereas, it's a balance because I think Jimmy's forcing him out of his comfort zone, but he's good because he needs to get used to these kind of situations.
It's true, man.
But so it's just it's a very tit for tat series, and I think from now is like, I think Game 4 was a good momentum booster for whoever won, and because it was the Celtics now, and that was at Miami, was it? So now they're going back home.
Yeah, Miami.
So they're going back home.
Yeah.
Wait,
and
who's going back home?
Celtics.
No, Celtics just had 2.
Game was it to get Celtics had 2 games
because then they took things took the home.
seed.
So they're going now to the Heat now, and if they now take that game, blood in the water, you're going home. That's it. Have to.
So you reckon Game 5, Miami win that? That's that.
No,
Let me say if Boston win that, that's that.
I think Boston. But if Boston
wins Game 5,
generally
wins anyway.
Yeah, like if Boston winning Game 5, blood in the water, Miami's going. Like that's it. You smell it, and now you're like, it's time to go. You had a good run, but now you got to go. You gotta go. Do you smell what the Rock? He's cooking. It's time to go.
Time to go.
Go, Holmes.
100%.
So I mean, I had Miami in 7, and I'm gonna stick by that.
You reckon?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick by that, man. Miami in 7.
I rate the
you know
confidence.
what? It was
You sticking with Miami?
100%.
Wait, hang on. Was he not just saying on this podcast that Boston are the This nigga don't make no sense, bro.
He's been having a moment and a half on today's pod.
The guy, no, I swear to God.
I made a mistake. No, sure it is. What I'm doing something to help the Celtics. I have to.
What?
If I want the Celtics to win,
You have to go against them.
Miami need to win in 7. That's it.
Wow.
Miami needs to win in 7.
Alright.
So okay. let's get out of that bubble now. Let's be realistic. I do think from here on out, the Celtics will win the next 2 out of 3 games.
If it goes 7, you've got Miami there.
Yeah, if it goes 7, I say Miami take it, but 6 games will be the Celtics. I think Celtics, they'll win the next 2. If they flop, yeah.
I've got Boston in 6 because I believe the best player in the series generally wins out, and I think Tatum is the best player in this series. I also think Boston, as great as Miami have been all season, I think Miami have a little bit of Utah in them where it's a regular season. They're a great regular season team. They're a great playoff team as well, don't get me wrong. However, with all these injuries and stuff, I don't think it'll be that difficult for them to fall apart, man.
If Jimmy's still feeling his knee, it's not like because
Jimmy's gonna try and start. Jimmy's gonna play. Jimmy's not gonna like fold or nothing like that. I'm not saying he's gonna sit out, but I'm just saying it's a lot to have to deal with that. And the way, first of all, I think Brown and Tatum have done a lot this season anyway to make sure that they can coexist. They're being accountable for the shit they're doing as well. And they've also been very trustworthy in certain moments as well. Like in even game 3 when they were losing by a lot, Jaylen Brown was getting them back in that game. If Tatum wasn't like
off.
And he wasn't just off. Tatum had an absolute stinker.
Yeah.
If Tatum played even half the ability that he has, they would have won that game.
I remember Jaylen Brown got his playoff career high
40 points.
40
he
points.
turned the ball over mad too.
He did.
He was making.
But when they
shots,
needed buckets, he was giving them buckets. Bro.
And he was also giving away buckets to them turnovers.
He was, but I'd say Jaylen Brown went on that similar thing we were just talking about with Luka, where he went on a period of time where he was Miami were giving him opportunities, and I say giving him opportunities, he was hitting contested threes, tough layups. Like he was very much taking over that game. It's a shame they didn't win. Actually, it would have been great for his resume. But yeah, I just think the culmination of everything coming together with a great young head coach in the league,
really good coach.
with 2 great, like I would say Jason Tatum is definitely a great player. Jaylen Brown is a very very good player as well. With that, it's a perfect combination. You've got Al Horford and Robert Williams, who are slyly one of the better big men duos in the league. I thought when them 2 went on the court together, it would be problematic, but because Horford is still a fairly decent help defender for perimeter players as well, and if you watch highlights and stuff like that or just watch through games, Horford looks for Robert Williams so many times for lobs at the basket as well. Like them 2 have a great little chemistry going on. Boston, I'm telling you right now, are a point guard away from being like a top 2 team in the league. Period. If they had a healthy, like I know it's extreme, but a healthy Lonzo or a pass first point guard that can just get them going, they will be incredible, an incredible team to just. I think Marcus Smart is best suited coming off the bench or in his defensive position that he would be in, guarding one of the better perimeter defenders. But if they had a better offensive point guard who can pass the ball, distribute and stuff like that, there'll be a confirmed problem.
Thanks to heavens they don't, because
for now we don't know what's going to happen in free agency.
What's your prediction, Jules? We've got both of ours.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my prediction, which was Boston in 6. I think they'll do it in 6. I do agree that today's game game 5, tonight's game is crucial. I do think whoever wins that is in a very good place to win out. It's best of 3 series now, isn't it? So if you win now, it's almost the other team's facing elimination in both games. So it gives you that. But Boston were there in the last series. Do you know what I mean? Boston were down 3-2 against the Bucks and they came back. They were down 2-1 against the Bucks and they came back. They weren't down against Brooklyn. We all know what happened. But
gave them the business.
It was down, but they came back. We had leads, but cool. Let's go.
Anyway,
ouch.
But even if they do lose again, Boston came back against the defending champs twice, even winning road games on the way. So, listen, it's not a foregone conclusion, and I think Boston will edge it out. I don't see Miami, as I said at the beginning, outscoring them over a whole series, which is where it's at.
Okay. Fair enough. Moving on, let's attack this all NBA team.
Attack this shit.
So should I start with the third team or the first team? What way should I go?
Let's go third.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, so all NBA third team.
Actually, Let's do first team because
Okay.
do first team
Yeah.
because third team has a problem on it instantly.
Okay. All NBA first team. We have Devin Booker, Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jason Tatum, Nikola Jokic. Shall I go for the second team and then
Run them all off.
all NBA second team? Stephen Curry, Ja Morant, DeMar DeRozan, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid. All NBA third team: Christopher Emmanuel Poole,
Yo.
Trey Young,
Yeah.
LeBron James, Pascal Beyblade Siakam, and Karl Anthony Towns, the cat meowing that.
Wow.
Okay.
So,
Big problems.
So
okay, who wants to go? Because I don't know.
You can go first. You can go.
No,
Let's do it by team. So let's do first team. Let me.
so what do you want first? The problem with the first team?
Yeah.
Problem with the first team. LeBron James is not on the All NBA first team. I have no idea who needs to come off.
Okay.
Oh, no, hang on. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. First of all, was this guy not top 3 in scoring this year?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was he not in big conversations at some points for him having one of the greatest seasons for a 37-year-old ever?
Yep.
Who he did have the greatest season of a 37-year-old ever,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So what reason does he have to not be on this team?
He didn't win.
What winning has nothing to do with it.
It's not. It's
Winning has nothing to do with
Yeah.
it. Let's look at the seed. Firstly, wrong. You've got a 1 seed. You've got one seed, yeah. Then you've got a 2 seed. Then you've got Jokic, who was what, a 6 seed? Mm-hmm. You've got
5.
no 6
Yeah,
seed.
because wasn't it Suns, Grizz.
No, third versus 6.
Warriors were third, so they played 6.
Okay.
Okay, 6 seed, yeah. Then you've got Luka, who was a 4 seed, yeah. It's not about winning. It's not about winning. This is an individual accolade. You can't tell me, yeah. First, did Jason Tatum have a better season than LeBron James?
Bruv, Jason Tatum didn't even have a better season than DeMar DeRozan. DeRozan should be there above him. DeRozan should be there above him. No. DeRozan has done much more in this regular season than I saw. He had more moments in this season. But my number one person that I'm here to spaz out about is Joel Embiid. I don't care how you did it, how you done it. He was second in this MVP voting by this much, bro. How the fuck is he not in the NBA first team?
You know how it is because every team has 2 guards, 2 forwards.
Bond that, blood. Put the 2 centers.
They should change it.
But no, wait. Actually, Joel Embiid was also listed as a forward too, so they could have actually had Nikola Jokic.
He was listed as a forward.
They put him as forward, so he could actually been with Nikola Jokic as well.
Yeah, big conspiracy.
Because it doesn't make sense to me how the LeBron James things are one argument, but I have to move mad on this Joel because Joel Embiid is hands down NBA first
season,
team.
you know?
Like you cannot tell me of the last. But I saw it and I got heated because this guy, like Jokic, deserved to be MVP. But if he didn't, it's that close. Embiid should win it. Why the fuck are you not in the first team, bro? How can you not be in the first team and you've had one of the best seasons a center's had since obviously that barring that Jokic and what he's done in years? Fucking scoring title. You this close and you're not even in the first team. Like, are you mad fam? Like what are you doing? No, but I'm being real.
I agree
because I don't get it.
Jules.
No, I don't get it,
You
bro.
need to drink some more.
Bro.
You need to. He's angry. Do you know what? I understand because Joel Embiid, like second MVP voting, scoring title, and this is the second time where he's had an amazing season and he's finished his second.
You're talking about
second
LeBron.
team.
Imagine Embiid.
Yeah, no,
Because that's mad. Like that's a scoring title, second MVP.
I didn't know that Embiid was listed as a forward as well. So I am now not as mad as you because you're very angry right now.
Because they do my African brother dirty.
No,
bro.
100. They have
come on.
They have definitely done him dirty.
If you're not gonna give him MVP, I hear my eye said Jokic, but it's a give and take.
Like
he has to be first
I wouldn't
team.
be mad because honestly, I think I wouldn't be mad if Joel Embiid and Jason Tatum swapped. Honestly, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think that
Embiid being on there is more of a priority in my opinion than
Jokic,
LeBron even
Embiid,
being on there.
Giannis, they were three of the MVP runners.
That's it. They should be first team. And I agree with Booker. Doncic, if you're gonna look at guards, he probably edges it.
It's
So
gonna be him.
I can
It's
get
gonna
that
be
in
him.
it, but
If Steph didn't plateau like he did,
Yeah,
it would
then
have
he
been Steph
would've
instead of
been
Luka.
Steph, yeah.
Well, Steph instead of Booker because you know they love this white boy.
But yeah, barring them beatings, it is what it is, isn't it? Like, I just don't think Tatum should have made it over Embiid. And if you're gonna throw out other forwards like LeBron, or even if you're gonna put DeRozan as a small forward, put DeRozan there, because
Tatum
definitely over
should
DeRozan.
Tatum should have made it over Kevin Durant? I'm just asking.
The guy.
I'm asking the question. We're talking about regular season, by the way.
All right, no, we're gonna talk about regular season.
He was injured for a month.
He was.
So yeah, cool. But he was doing them as a league.
He still made the NBA team, all NBA team.
That's what I think. I think first team for Durant would have been a bit much. Him making the all NBA team is.
Do you know what? One thing we can talk about is the age of the players that are on the first team. The oldest player is Jokic, who's 27, I believe, or is it Giannis? It might be Giannis, who's 27, which is crazy. That's just a very young all NBA first team.
I mean, wait.
3 of these guys were on our top 25 at 25 or younger. Was it top 10? 25 or younger? I can't remember what list we did. But 3 of those guys were on there, bro. That's quite. What are you looking at?
Just in terms of stats, Jason Tatum in 76 games, 26.9 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists.
That's not bad.
Kevin Durant, 29.9 points, 7.4 rebounds, 6.4 assists.
KD had a better season than him. That's not a question.
That's what I'm trying to say. That Tatum being up there, to me, like he definitely deserves all NBA team in it, but first team's a mad stretch. As soon as I saw that, I got heated about the NBA team because they're doing my man too dirty, and I just don't think he played at a first team level.
Yeah,
like Tatum was good this year, but first team, you're talking about like you were probably just edging off MVP voting, MVP voting, and Doncic was the best out of every other guard available. Mm-hmm. You are not the better forward out of Durant. If Embiid's listed as a forward, if LeBron is listed as a forward, and in my opinion, if DeRozan's listed as a forward, you're even after all these guys. So when you're going to factor that in, your NBA third team, instant.
Which again, at 23, 24, however old Tatum is, that's still a good accomplishment, isn't it? I just think, I think they missed. And I think they've missed on a lot of things this year in terms of NBA awards anyway. 100%. I don't think Ja Morant should have won most improved.
That was hideous.
That was ridiculous.
He didn't even want it. That's why how do you think he gave it to Desmond Bain?
It's bullshit, man. But I now I'm hearing this. I do agree with you. As much as I love LeBron, I think if Embiid is listed as a forward, he should be on there over Tatum, definitely. What's my problem with so my problem with second team isn't necessarily a problem. It's just that now we're saying at least 2 of those guys on second team probably should have been in the first team.
It's just that outside taking up Tatum really, and it's replacing with.
And it's not that he's not going to make the team at all. He's just going to have to drop down to.
And I think the third team is what I need to spaz out about. The second team is a bit like
all those guys deserve to be there.
Yeah,
balanced,
Steph dropped off. DeRozan slightly dropped off as well towards the end. KD probably.
Because DeRozan's not first. DeRozan deserves second team. I think
KD should not. However, LeBron being on third team now makes me ask a lot of questions about some of the other guys that are ahead of him.
Because
how is the KD had a better season than LeBron?
No, he didn't.
He didn't, did he?
No.
So why is KD above LeBron that doesn't make sense to me.
The way they're factoring this stuff in is mad to me. This is why I said LeBron should at minimum be second team All NBA.
Yeah, LeBron.
Minimum should be.
LeBron got more points.
LeBron almost averaged
30.3 points.
Averaged 30 points.
8 points.
You're giving him 13.
Yeah, 30 points, 8 rebounds.
Bro, if it wasn't the Embiid thing, I would have spazzed
games as Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant played 55 games.
And look at the team he was playing with.
It is but again, and this is where my problem is now. I feel like they need to differentiate between what awards. Or remove the guy from the team he's on when you're giving him awards. If a guy is winning MVP, make a decision whether all the awards we're going to factor in your team success, or we're going to factor in no one's team success to any of these awards. Because it doesn't, like what you're saying to me doesn't make sense. Statistically, LeBron had a better year than a lot of these guys. Yeah. In terms of impact, LeBron had a better year than a lot of these guys as well. Like I hear that the Nets massively struggled about having KD for a lot of this year, hence why you got 8th seed. But at the same time, bro, like neither of the two had a great year in terms of team success either. You can't explain to why LeBron is there. Joe Embiid 100% should be on first team. They need to rejig all of this and just make a strong, firm decision. If we're doing all-star voting front court and back court, then we should do all NBA team front court and back court. Right. There needs to be consistency in what we're doing in it. Because at the end of the day, these are accolades that affect people's pay. People get paid on if they make the All-Star team, if they make the All-NBA team, or an All-Defensive team, all these things. If you're impacting someone's bag, someone's salary, there needs to be consistency. We need to regulate this thing and really talk about who's voting. I would love to see a list of the panelists who get to vote on this stuff and what accolades they have.
Because I want to talk about like the votes, innit? So we talk about so according to this right here right now, NBA first team, Giannis got the most. Giannis got 100 first team votes. Doncic got 88. Jokic got 88. Booker got 82. Tatum got 49. Embiid's listed as a forward, so he got 57 first team votes. I mean, as a center, so he got 57 first team votes, which don't make sense. Then as the guard, Morant got 13. Durant got 10 as a forward. Steph Curry got 9. DeMar DeRozan got 2. And I think LeBron James was the only other person to get other first team. With two votes. Then you look at the second team, which Ja Morant was 76. He was the highest second team, or NBA second team. Embiid, because he got a multitude of votes, 43 and 57 for the first. He got 414, so collated the most. He actually got more votes than Tatum. Durant
It doesn't make no sense.
It doesn't make sense because he actually, even if you're gonna collate it just on
you got more
the most votes,
more
like,
total points, more first.
He would have been fifth. Like, and it just doesn't add up as to how someone like Embiid is sitting in this NBA second team. Innit? Again, he might not think he's probably still pissed off that they're out of the playoffs, or whatever. But you're talking about man's money right here, like you said, innit? Like, the guy was this close away from the MVP. You can't now tell me he's second team.
Honestly,
Can we talk about this third team because it's ugly as hell?
Yes, Siakam.
Beyblade.
Alright, so
Chris Paul.
No. But look at Siakam's numbers this year. They weren't bad. Like, Siakam actually had a fairly decent year, and Toronto got themselves, or he was one of the driving factors that got Toronto
in the whole league.
Yeah, but tell me who you put over him then.
Let me see the other people then, because there was
Who's really making off like as a forward?
So So this is what the NBA said. The other people that receive votes. So the total votes are 45 and 28. So Rudy Gobert got 45 total points as a center.
Such bullshit.
Other receiving centers. Bam Adebayo, other receiving votes for centers at 28 points. Other receiving votes for forwards at 32 points. You had Jimmy Butler. Jaylen Brown had 3. Desmond Bane had 1, and then Chris Middleton had 1.
Desmond Bane got all NBA all 13 vote.
He got a 13 vote.
Yeah. Put Jimmy Butler in All NBA?
I'd rather have him than Pascal Siakam.
And
but because of his regular season, they're not going to do that because
regular season he was.
Jimmy not try like that.
Then in the guards, there wasn't much here, but we had 4 points for Donovan Mitchell, 1 point for Mikal Bridges at Phoenix, 1 point for Drew Holiday, 1 point for Kyrie Irving, 1 point for Deontay Murray,
1 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists.
Siakam had a better year.
And 1 point for Fred VanVleet. These are all 13 votes.
This is what I'm saying. Like, maybe the pool isn't as a pool of candidates anyway, isn't as big as we think it would be. Because you say who's the alternative for Siakam? Siakam had a better year than Jimmy Butler.
That's true.
You know, he had a better year than.
I mean, we named all the other forwards: Jaylen Brown.
I would rather have Jaylen Brown than Pascal Siakam in it. But that's my personal
Desmond Bane. He had a better, even Chris Middleton. I mean, you probably, when you look on the face of it, yeah. The Chris Paul one, I was a bit like.
But you're not going to put Donovan Mitchell over.
That's the only issue, though. There isn't any other guard that you would give it to him over. So then, again,
because Kyrie is on his bullshit. If Kyrie played 82, 72, 60 games this year, might be having a different discussion. I do think slightly though. Now we've like had discussion about the Pat Bev situation, how Chris Paul is quite protected in this league. I think I'm not saying his value is inflated. However, some like his numbers don't necessarily to me stand out as an all-star, but he seems to always keep getting all-stars. His numbers don't stand out to me as someone who should probably be getting all NBA either, but he still gets it.
Because what? Let me just see what he averaged last season, because I'm very sure.
I feel like a lot of it is legacy. You know how there's recency bias.
This season,
With Chris Paul is legacy bias.
this season,
14.7
rebounds, 10 assists.
Yeah,
The assists are nice. Don't get me wrong, but Trey. I mean,
Trey got more.
Trey's on the list though.
Yeah,
Trey's all NBA 13.
14.7, like
Trey
Rod
had
said.
way more points.
10.8 assists and 4.4 rebounds.
With that, Chris.
Yeah.
If I actually liked Utah, whatever they're called, I would
I'm
actually.
not putting Donovan
No, but then
Mitchell.
you could argue that I'm not gonna, and I'm being honest in it, but I'm just trying to throw up the other side in it. Like if you're gonna look at Donovan Mitchell's stats, and let me get it up.
I just don't want to see anyone in Utah.
25.9 points, 5.3 assists, and 4.2 rebounds.
Chris Paul, yes, but do I want Donovan Mitchell there? No.
I mean, the rebounds are practically the same. The points differential is over 10 points,
But then the assists,
and then the assist is 5.
which adds up to about 10 points. They have about the same amount of contribution. It's just in different ways, isn't it?
Fair enough.
I'm looking now at the NBA scoring leaders. Well, I'm trying to get a list up of the NBA scoring leaders.
I'm sure Trae Young was in there.
Yeah, I think Trae Young might have finished top 5.
No, Trae Young was top total points, top total assists. I think the top 5, from what I remember, was obviously Embiid, Giannis, KD, LeBron. Not in that order, but
Embiid, Giannis,
KD.
Where's LeBron there?
KD was there, LeBron was there, and then there was some. I think there's someone else in between. Giannis, maybe I said Giannis.
I don't know why LeBron's name isn't there, but it should go LeBron. Oh, I think it's due to games played.
Oh, they're doing the actual one, like because LeBron didn't play the registered amount of games, innit?
So in here they've got Embiid, Giannis, Luka, Trey, DeMar, Jokic, Tatum, Booker, Mitchell. So Mitchell had more points than Steph Curry as well. Curry, Towns, Zach LaVine is someone who probably could have been on an All NBA team. But then you have to start looking at teams like, oh, you've got 2 All NBA players, but you finished 6th. That's when I'd say your team success will factor into it. You can't have 2 All NBA players on your team.
But then why is Miami not got any in the first seed? On the flip, and I don't disagree, but
because they don't have a single player that qualifies for. So I feel like the criteria starts at, do you have the numbers? The individual numbers.
You do, but then if
Miami don't really have.
If you throw up Jimmy Butler and Siakam, you could say that, but then would you say the position of Miami swings that a bit way?
Yes, probably
enough to maybe get that 3rd spot over him. Considering they were the number 1 seed, they are, even if you're going to talk about playoffs or not, they are still there.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Obviously,
Pascal's top 15 in scoring, though. I will say that, like in the league, top 15.
I when we said Siakam, initially I was like, then I looked at it, and you look at the likes of the forwards that are out. Obviously, Zion's out, AD's out. These are some of the forwards that play and healthy are making that team above him, innit? So,
it was AD's even stats, even though he barely played.
He's not even on this list because of the lack of games he played.
Yeah, but his stats in general
were actually pretty decent.
Even though this was a bad season for him as well.
It's more of a bad season because he wasn't there than anything else.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But the times he was there, it was still
23.2 points, 9.9 rebounds, and 3.1 assists.
It's not horrible
in 40
kind of
games.
Matches Siakam anyway.
It'll be better. AD probably would have, like, when you deep AD in a healthy season. Bear in mind you've had no Kawhi.
Kawhi. Paul George.
I don't know if Zion might make it.
Paul George, Kawhi, Zion.
PG will probably get snubbed because he'd go down as a guard because he plays the 2 for us now. So it'll be tough. However, I would rather have him on. Normally, I would have him there over Chris Paul.
But yeah, then again, that's what we're talking. So you have to also look at the players that are out, and even like if Clay comes back healthy,
Clay will never make it.
Well, if Chris Paul,
Clay will never.
Those stats.
Chris Paul. I don't expect Chris Paul to be on this list next year, just because like Donovan Mitchell probably will be on this list over him next year.
He's getting himself traded from.
Yeah,
Christopher.
Then even Damian
Lillard be an all-star next.
Damian Lillard.
I don't think they should allow Dame to get any more accolades until he's Portland.
I mean, he hasn't anyway. He's almost rookie of the year his whole career.
Nah,
he's NBA 75, bro.
Yeah, and he definitely has all NBAs as well.
He's got better all NBAs. Like Damian Lillard is up there. Like he's one of the best.
How many all NBAs?
One of the best guys.
Has he been all NBA first team?
Dame?
Yeah,
probably.
No. I'll give him a second team because Steph has been in the league longer than him.
I think he got one over him once though.
Really? Or maybe they both got it in the same year.
All that.
It'd be interesting to see.
He was All NBA first team in the 2017 to 18 season.
Yeah, I do remember him getting one, but
just that season, yeah, and that's it.
When KD was all
I think that the base of this argument, and I think this is what we're drawing to, is that I just think they need to fix this because
there needs to be consistency.
Yeah, man, you can't have someone that is like there's two players in one position and one person edges out the other for the MVP award, and because of that, they're not in the NBA first team. That's just absolutely ridiculous.
If everyone who submits a vote has to write like a little
reason,
a little 100 words, why is this person? Why have you put this person in? I think that will stop a lot of nonsense as well. Just because
we got to see who's actually doing these votes as well, man.
These votes are garbage.
They said when who was it that was voting? I think it might have even been for when they were doing like the season awards, so like MVP and stuff like that. They were talking about the guys who get votes on some of this stuff are not covering the NBA all season. What sense does that make?
Come on, man.
That don't make no sense to have people who aren't following the sport or keeping up to date with the things that are happening. Why are you now one of the people that gets to decide if a guy earns?
That makes no sense.
No, literally, prime example of this. Klay Thompson, missed out on 30 M's over the course of his current contract because he didn't make an All-NBA team. Because Kemba Walker made it over him in one of the years. Kemba made like an All-NBA third team over Klay 1 year, and it meant that Klay didn't get the Supermax, he just got the max. Because Kemba made the All-NBA 13, Kemba got the Supermax. Look at the two of them now.
Ouch.
It makes a massive difference to people's earnings, and that's why people need to be held accountable, because you're impacting people's bag.
Yeah, when you look at both of them, Klay out here in the Western Conference Finals playing his heart out
after 2 years out.
Yeah, after 2 years out playing.
Do you even know what team Kemba plays for right now?
He's supposed to be at the New York Knicks.
Yeah, him and Tibbs still beefing about minutes and stuff like that.
But I mean, he's getting paid and he's chilling.
He got waived. Do you remember? So OKC, Boston traded him to OKC. OKC waived him, and then the Knicks picked him up on like a 2-year contract for like 9.
Yeah, I remember he got a triple double on Christmas Day, innit?
Yeah,
that was all I remember.
It was his first
ever.
Yeah.
But getting triple was harder.
No, it's not easy, but it's like the fact.
Saying that to you.
Getting triple double is not easy.
There's a bag of guys in the league that get triple doubles, often.
There's the record double holder is casually there.
Russ,
yeah,
Luka, LeBron, Jokic,
yes,
Giannis.
I'm even saying guys like Deontay Murray getting triple doubles.
Yeah.
Bare people are getting triple doubles. I'm not saying it's easy.
Markel Fultz had one at some point.
All right, cool.
It's not easy, but it's.
I'm not. It's not super easy. I'm not saying
it's not. But I'm just.
But for Kemba Walker, for him to get triple double, when's that gonna happen? You seen Kemba Walker get rebounds?
No, it's not about the rebounds, bro.
That's part of triple double.
It's the assists.
Yeah.
And points.
Because that nigga don't pass.
if a triple double hunting, you can get it probably.
Boy.
Conspiracy Cam. Yeah. Rumor mill.
Oh
yeah.
Gosh.
Recently.
That's gonna be a new segment. Conspiracy Cam.
Recently. Okay. The cameras are out in LA. Yeah.
Oh, I saw it.
The cameras are out in LA.
I saw it.
Who did they catch in LA? Jules, who did they catch in LA?
We saw my nigga. He was boogieing. The guy that only took 2 shots in the whole second half. Philadelphia. It's not Ben Simmons. He don't play for them no more. He caught him in the club. And show me the move, Cam. Show me the move.
But you're talking about a different guy.
You're talking about a different guy. Because I was thinking he was going to say, wait, James Harden was in LA.
Do you what?
Dancing. No, did I not send it to you?
Okay,
did I not send it to you?
He definitely was
and it was like this was just vibing.
He wanted Doc Rivers fired. He wanted Doc Rivers fired. Who I saw in LA, that was in LA and who had good talks with LA as well was Zach Levine.
I don't think that's really, really, really picking up substance though.
What? Listen, hang on. First of all, we're talking about a guy who's an unrestricted free agent. It can happen. Like
you haven't got the caps, mate. We're gonna have to do a madness with
Russ and the first round pick. Go Zach Levine in.
Zach said, "I love LA. It's a great place. I've been living here.
I love LA. It's a great place. I've been living here. I'm trying to play here.
100%. That is someone who."
The Lakers are looking at and they're applying pressure.
Just the logistics of things. How's it gonna work?
But teams were saying that they wouldn't mind taking Russell's contract if they get a first round pick. But LA's not trying to give that first round pick.
If they get Zach Levine, they should do it. Because then you have Zach Levine and AD for the next however, like 3-4 years. That's enough. That's enough. Just fuck it.
I will
Man.
hurt my brother, bro. Ooh.
What if you is he a Bulls fan?
Yeah, he just thinks
The Bulls are pissed though, innit? And do you know what? Shout out to LeVar. Shout out to LeVar because everything he says seems to come into.
Vision.
Bro, he said he's gonna have his boys in the league. Granted, one of them, I don't know what Jello's doing, but
But the G League, they have it out for him because they're not giving him minutes. And
makes no sense.
And the minutes that he gets, he's doing very well.
I feel like Melo needs to turn into Mbappe and
Melo needs to be like, alright, if you man are messing with him,
like what Giannis did with his brother, innit? Like,
if you man are messing with my guy, swear down.
And they said, "Hey,
I'm not here for
you really think I'm gonna sign if Giannis, or whatever you pronounce his name, Giannis ain't here, brother? Put Giannis on this team and I'll sign."
Thanasis.
Giannis. Oh my God.
Thesaurus.
Boston in 6. No, but real talk though, like if so in my head, so I've got a couple moves that might work for the Lakers in terms of freeing themselves up to get someone. One of them is trading Russ back to OKC.
That was possible.
OKC want picks. Everyone's been doing this. Everyone's been dumping off these big ass contracts to OKC, so OKC can get picks. Yeah. OKC have 2 lottery picks this year, 2 and 12. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're gonna care too much about going big on anyone in free agency. I say they take the Russ contract for 1 more year, so that they line themselves up for free agency next year when guys like Jokic are available. Just other guys that they can make a bigger and a better run at. Yeah. Kawhi's gonna be a free. No, he's not. Someone else good is gonna be a free agent next year. I can't remember who. But yeah, I think OKC will take that contract, take the pick, and be like, yeah, cool, we'll run with that. Because they'll probably take it like a 2027, 2028 from the Lakers. The Lakers aren't really thinking too far in advance. However, they haven't got a pick for a long time since they did that Anthony Davis trade. But at the same time, I say you, man, it's worth doing. If you could offload Russ and all you have to do is take back like what's the center's name? Derek Favors. Take back a Derek Favors. So you at least get a playable player in return who can play center next to AD as well. And now you've cleared yourself of 40-something mil cap space. Of money. And go and get yourself a Zach LaVine in free agency. Decide to make it work. If you have to you might have to send them THT as well. But if I'm you, I'm doing that anyway because you need to.
I do feel as a franchise we just need to try, because it's like Bradley Beal's available. There are a couple players that are available.
But
if Zach's interested,
if Bradley Beal re-signs with the Wizards,
he's getting.
He's on that Damian Lillard thing, bro. You are there.
Them man are running from the mother freaking grind.
100%.
That's what they're doing because they know
100%.
If they're on a contender, they don't want that heat.
Pressure's on.
They don't want that heat. And Bradley Beal, can't lie, you was out here giving your speech to your AAU team.
Yeah, but none of you niggas can guard me.
Guard me in the league. Well,
Back of guys in the league can guard you, bro. Back of guys in the league can guard you.
Well, that's another guy that'll be in the NBA.
No, there's not bad guys in the league that can guard Bradley Beal.
Sorry, there's a bag of guys in the league that can stop Bradley Beal from making the playoffs. is that better?
A bag of teams, guys. Ready teams.
Yes.
Don't fuck yourself up and keep your ass in Washington for.
I'll be real. No, but it's I know the money's good, but you have
money's always good though, man.
Yeah, and you man have got so much. I'll be mad real, innit? Like someone like Bradley Beal, you're getting to that age and that time in your career where there's legacies to be made, innit?
100%.
Like ain't nobody gonna care. You might. Fair dues, but you'll make your money.
There's more time behind you than
and you'll make more money through endorsements.
He's made his
winning.
money already because he said, I could retire today and go live on the beach.
My family are good.
And my family are good. I mean, his wife, his kids, his brothers, his parents, they're good.
Yeah.
I say, wow, okay. That means you can go and play for a rook contender, even if it's a bit less peace, because you can retire today, right, homie? All right, cool. Go over there and make something out of your legacy because you're a very good player. You're an amazing scorer. So why not be utilized?
100%.
Because even if you throw it back to the Zach LaVine, the original convo was, if he does stay in Chicago, I can dig with that because it's like Chicago
that
getting somewhere.
Because they're on the rise, but
they are.
They only got one issue, which is obviously Lonzo knee and that guy.
That's a big problem.
That's a big problem.
You're asking yourself to rely on a 32, 33-year-old DeMar DeRozan. There's not like don't get me wrong with Levine, DeRozan, and Lonzo. That's a good team. But if one of those pieces are removed,
it doesn't.
It
show,
starts to unravel.
Yeah, it starts to unravel small by small, and then it completely collapses in the playoffs.
Yeah.
No, it's in the playoffs. I think they're a team that, when fit, could do damage. That they could take teams. They could do well in the East, innit? They can maybe get to a conference finals if they have a decent. They could. Bro, if the Hawks made the bloody 8 seed, anything can happen in the East. Then you maybe get Miami who ain't scoring well. One player's out. Anything can happen.
Them boys don't have a Trae Young.
Trae Young and who?
Trae Young's got an ECF. Have they? Or tomorrow is in the end of the tournament. But we all know how that played out. We all know what happened there.
LeBron though.
I do think though Zach LaVine's looking at one. He wants to be the scoring option. I think
at the Lakers he will be the
100. I don't want to see LeBron averaging 30 points again.
Do you think LeBron wants to see himself averaging?
Nah,
LeBron was meant to come and just.
Bro, let LeBron just be himself in it.
He could just be the playmaker.
Just be the goal.
Let LeBron have averaged 21, 10 and 8 in a season, 10 assists. Yeah, remember LeBron led the league in assists. He can do it. He's shown us he can do it, and it's a light life for him. That's soft life for LeBron. That's soft life. For him.
That's what he wants. Exactly. I am this old. Like I'm waiting for my son to come in, bro. That's what I want to do.
When AD landed that time on Rudy, and then LeBron was like, damn. When he went down, he was like, damn, this nigga made out of glass.
Yeah,
again?
A Disney?
A Delicate.
A&E.
A and Disney.
That's the best one to you.
A and D.
A&E Davis? Nah, that nigga is.
I don't know what's going on with his body, but he needs to. I don't know what, like, he's so fragile. It makes
He's
no
like
sense.
Bambi, innit?
Bruv.
Yeah.
Like, fam, I don't understand why he's so fragile.
It's not good.
And what really pisses me off is that the fact that at the beginning of the season, not only him, but Vogel and all them boys over there in NA, saying, physically imposing. He's going to be physically imposing. He's going to be an issue, going to be a problem.
Physically imposing on a hospital bed.
The doctor, you hear again?
on the medical table.
You hear again?
That guy was out for.
Man's out here. Man's in the
40
ER.
games he played.
Man's in the ER more than Cowboys. Don't let that fly. Don't let that go above your head.
I think
Rodney needs help.
if the Lakers can get themselves a Zach LaVine, it'll be a good move. I think OKC will be more than happy to take on that contract for 1 year. It's not bothering them, and they're not paying anyone right now. Like Shea is their only big contract. Outside of that, I think it's
rookies.
Yeah, man, and Derek
Rookie
Favors,
deals.
like they're slightly chilling, and they've got 1 more year of doing something like that until they have to pay start paying guys like Baisley and who I think they should probably move anyway. But and Pokuševski and fucking Dort is coming up soon as well. Giddy's gonna be there, and if Giddy's the guy for the future, along with these two first round lottery picks that they're gonna have, that lottery pick, whoever they take, if they keep that guy for 4 years, that's gonna be a max. That's gonna be a rookie max player. If they get themselves a Jabari Smith or someone like that, that's gonna be a rookie max player if he turns out to be any good. Yeah. So you need to, while you can, take on whatever cap you need to take on. And plus, I don't know what's gonna happen with Russ after this. But if the last time we see Russ playing is in OKC, I don't think people will be mad at that at all. And we've seen Shea play with an older guard in Chris Paul, and it only made him better. I feel like Russ hasn't been great, but if they can somehow rejig the roster to allow Russ, because Giddy's 6'8", Shea is 6'6", Russ is obviously Russ like 6'3", 6'4", whatever how tall they say he is. That's a lineup you could put out, and that's taller than most of the fucking first three in the league anyway. I think it would work fine. Another move that people were saying, Charlotte. It's not a great deal, but if they could get Gordon Hayward for Russ, that's not terrible. I think Charlotte would do it to get out of the Gordon Hayward business because he ain't really doing nothing. Not doing nothing for their boy LaMelo as well.
Yeah.
And the Lakers get at least someone.
That wasn't a smart pickup
From who?
for Charlotte. For
At
the
all,
way
man.
way they play, it's just a bit like
I don't know how Gordon Hayward went from Boston playing like us to getting a 30 mil for like 4-year contract from Charlotte. Again, the guy who everyone says is the GOAT is one of the worst GMs out here, one of the worst owners out here, and makes terrible decisions. It reminds me of his playing career.
I knew that was coming. Conspiracy Cam, he's back again.
No, 100%. Another conspiracy. But I've heard. You know me. I'm more connected.
Conspiracy camp.
There is a fairly decent chance, apparently, that the Brooklyn Nets might not be bringing back Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I'm hearing that as well. You know,
Might not be bringing back Kyrie Irving, and I heard that might upset your boy KD a little bit, Reds.
And I have comments on this. Someone said it, not me, but I agree with that person. But KD hasn't spoken to the Nets since we've got eliminated from the first round.
Allegedly. But I've seen KD's running around the world right now. I saw him.
He's running around the world, and
he was in EuroLeague.
I saw him at EuroLeague games.
Yeah.
I saw him at F1.
Yeah.
Like
yo, and
he's in Europe, like touring.
And he was out here with David Letterman.
yeah.
Blowing trees and this. But now he's just working out with different people, just fine tuning his game as he usually does. But listen here, let's be real and let's be honest. If the Nets want to keep KD, Kyrie, there's a package deal, because if they let go of Kyrie, that's gonna hurt KD.
KD's on a 3-year deal, you know.
I hear it, but
Kyrie is not.
I hear it. I understand. I think it's just a conversation with Kyrie, because it's not like he can play next season fully. Yeah, so that's
if
not
he
issue.
wants to. That is always the question with Kyrie, because if he wants to. Because before COVID, he was on the bullshit as well.
No, I understand.
Social injustice and all of them things.
He's fighting a good fight.
Which I'm sorry, that's not bullshit.
No, that's not bullshit.
He's fighting a good fight. His energy is going to places that some athletes
Kyrie X
need to put in. So, yeah, you know,
Kyrie
that's
Luther
right. King. Yeah. So I hate that. I think is a thing where his balance with everything was kind of all over the place, because it was like obviously the things that he was doing with social justice and such. There was no balance where it was like he was putting all his energy there, and not saying that's a bad thing, but he did need to balance his time well and and remember and remember that you are a professional basketball player. Yeah, so
yeah.
You know, but I think it will be a very good balance. Like when he was on the show with Eddie and that on the etiquettes. On the podcast, KD's podcast, Boardroom Etiquettes. Yeah. And just with certain things he'll say, like he thought he was going to be trading all these things there, and the stuff is dealing with his ankle. There's a lot of things that he was saying. So, but I do believe, like I say, it's just a conversation, and like I say, the Nets want everyone to get stronger, because after that elimination, they're saying, yeah, we're too weak. He literally, Sean Marks just said, we're too weak. We're going to be in the gym. Like guys are in the gym lifting now, as they need to be.
They have
to,
yeah, got bodied.
Yeah, so literally, in terms of, I think Kyrie's going to be back. Is it going to be extension, Mac? I don't know. Maybe it'll be a 1-year deal too. To just be like, look, listen, no hard feelings, but
he's got opt-in this year, you know. So as much as the Nets might be talking all this, they might not extend him, but he could play out his player option if it's not looking like they're going to bring him back, and he can play for that contract, innit? I don't think that works well for Brooklyn though.
I was going to ask though, as it's your team, would you be concerned with KD going into next season if Kyrie's not there?
Oh, would someone would have to get brought in?
No, but I'm not talking about even playing. I'm saying KD.
Yeah.
Mindset
in terms of what he's going to be on with this team.
Exactly.
He might ask out.
Yeah,
especially if Ben Simmons is still not.
I think this season is still like he's still going to go into it calm, just because we don't know what the full team looks like with Ben Simmons actually being the playmaker and his defense, with Kyrie being a full 2 guard and not on his ball crap. But
then if Kyrie goes, I don't think.
If Kyrie goes, then it's a bit peak.
Because I don't think he would stay because of Simmons.
Because KD can easily be like, yo, my Achilles acting up, I need to sit down.
What can you say, innit?
It's like, what can you say?
But he's, like I said, he's on a 3. He can't do that for 3 years. However,
hey, Ben Simmons on it for a year.
However, Brooklyn definitely need to tread very lightly around this situation, because
yes, 100%.
If you fuck up here, your championship window is closed, and some may even say it's already closed. Some may already say that, innit? So
some are saying, yeah, but But
if Kyrie leaves, your championship winner's done.
Yeah, 100%.
You need Kyrie and KD to be there for you to even have a fighting chance of doing it.
100%. So they just need to go because they're having conversation with Ben Simmons as well, and I don't know what Sean Marks is on, but he needs to be careful and mind how he's speaking. He's getting a bit too friendly with that mic. Yeah, you need to relax.
Words.
Have your conversations privately. Come from understanding. Do what you got to do. Make sure everyone's happy and go.
What makes it worse is that it's not like you've had a good postseason whereby it's like, even though Kyrie, it's like we can almost afford to. You can't really afford to lose Kyrie. We also do have to deep that
the Brooklyn Nets still could have played Kyrie part time from the start. Obviously, I know it's not ideal, and it made things a bit up and down. And even Amari Stoudemire, he was also saying a few things, but he didn't. He had no bad blood, like anything like that. But they could have done that from the start, because even though it was part time for the whole season, they still would have built some sort of chemistry, even if they had to firm them fines. But it's like, okay, cool. Is this one of the ones where he was kind of on the fence and thinking, then kind of like, Kyrie, you'll move mad, and it backfired. Because at the end of the day, he came back. You said, oh crap, we need him. Should have done that from the start. So there's a few things that they mishandled, and we're seeing that. Listen, you lot are mishandling. They're mishandling a lot of things. What Brooklyn needs to do is call my phone and let me handle the situation. That's the only way.
Because you brought him back, didn't you? You got him.
Listen, it's not even that. The whole Brooklyn. Listen, Sean Marks, if he's moving mad, my line's there. You man got my digits.
Didn't they say Steve Nash might be out as well?
He better. No, he has to be gone.
You need that gone.
He needs to be hung.
Whoa!
Damn.
Beat this, Rodney. When you listen to this back and editing, beat this, please.
Can I finish? I think he needs to be hung away from this basketball job. Yeah, let me finish. Let me finish. Yeah, sorry guys, let me finish.
Oh my gosh,
he just needs to just go away. Like he can hang outside the arena. He can hang outside the arena, and that's it. Yeah. Other than that, but. Yeah, they're definitely a better coach.
Who? Because there's not. That's the thing.
Mark Jackson.
You know what? Yeah,
Mark Jackson.
It would be a perfect pairing.
The only thing about Mark Jackson is, and like as much as I would love to have him as on the Lakers, I just think from his position, he's getting paid really well doing what he's doing, just commentating.
And he's having fun.
He's chilling. He's got no pressure.
Yep.
Like he's just living his life. And as soon as you step into this limelight of being a coach again, it all changes. And you're coaching these teams that have to win. If it's whoever, it could be the Nets or it's the Lakers. It's a lot of pressure
100%.
Upon you that you don't actually need when you're just chilling.
You raised an excellent point, by the way. I just want to touch on that. The Lakers head coaching job is not a desirable job. Like that is possibly one of the worst jobs.
Career
in the
suicide.
NBA. Because you have to look at who's taking that job and how quickly they've been fired. Yeah, Luke Walton was there before LeBron got there.
But he was actually just doing a terrible job.
He was, but now he's in Sacramento. But he got fired very, very quickly.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
They brought in Frank Vogel.
Didn't he get fired for Sacramento as well?
He did. Okay, yeah, maybe he's just a bad head coach.
So
that's a good point.
He's shocking.
However, Frank Vogel, they brought in, yeah? And they could have had Jason Kidd, they could have had Ty Lue, but they went with Frank Vogel because they said, oh yeah, we need a defensive
That's
guy.
because they wanted to choose Jason Kidd's coaching staff. I believe. I say that was the reason why.
I don't know, some shit.
Something like that.
Dumb as hell anyway. But
And
either way,
dumb,
they fumbled the bag because it didn't matter who your head coach was at that point. You should have let Jason Kidd just do it because it didn't matter who it was because you had the greatest player of all time and a relatively healthy Anthony Davis. That's enough. That is enough to win you a title.
Plus good pieces in
Exactly.
Alex
Great
Caruso, JaVale
bench players, man.
McGee, Howard,
You know, guys
KCP,
who are contributing.
Kuzma,
Rondo was there.
Rondo.
But now you look at it, Vogel's gone, who won you a head coach, won you a title. Sorry, yeah.
I just believe anyone could have been there
And
on the title.
no, but bro, the way they've done Frank Vogel was so dirty. They brought in Westbrook, who he didn't want, and everyone knew he did not want that guy there. He didn't pick him. None of that. That wasn't his decision to bring Westbrook in. Westbrook is partially the reason why the Lakers weren't successful this year,
and
just because they couldn't adapt to his.
They
style
broke out when Russ and LeBron started talking. Once they started talking,
yeah, it was kind of
it
it was
cut
always
his
coming.
everything.
So
that was he came on a big bro, please.
So the front office said, let's kill. I don't know if anyone watched Succession or anything like that, but they use the term kill when they're saying, yeah, he's the one who's going to take the blame. Let's kill Frank Vogel, let him take the blame for this one, and we're going to run it again. But now you look at the guys who you're interviewing. Darvin Ham, who used to play in the league and was I think he's at the Bucks. I think he was a Bucks assistant.
Yeah.
The Michigan coach turned us down.
Turn it down.
Yeah, Jawan Howard,
Yeah.
part of the Fab Five. But Michigan, being a head coach in college, you probably get paid more than you do in the NBA anyway. Less games as well. Much easier to yell at kids than it is to yell at adults. So that is, again, the Lakers' job is not desirable as well. Because you know if it doesn't go this well this year, you're probably going to get sacked again.
And it's like you'll be out of a job.
What's the
and it's
point,
like
man?
longevity. I'm at Michigan, getting paid. I'll probably be in my job in like 2-3 years.
You normally get 10-year head coaches,
Yeah.
not 10-year head coaches in college basketball, like Coach K, who stays at one team for 20, 30 odd years, something like that. So you can very well be one of. You don't get that in the league anymore. Who's the longest serving head
It's just
coach?
Pop, innit?
Pop. After Pop, who is it? Probably Spoelstra, I think.
Yeah, then maybe like Steve Kerr. But even these are.
Steve Kerr only got into started coaching the Warriors in like 2014 or 2015.
I think that's the three though.
That's crazy, right?
I do think that's because everyone has been.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bud's new.
Everywhere. Celtics, the teams.
Yeah,
Doc Floppery.
It would have been Doc if Doc was still at the Clippers. I guess. I think the Lakers need to start lowering their expectations as well in terms of what you're looking for in a head coach, because you fired a head coach. Granted, it wasn't working with Frank Vogel. He kind of did need to go, but at the same time, you either did it a year too early or a year too late, because the options right now are not very good.
Not at all.
I just think they just made a mistake bringing in Russ. They should have never done that.
I mean, yeah, but that's in the past now.
No, I'll be honest, and I'll say this 1,001 times, innit? It's not about, when you've got players like Russ, LeBron, AD, it's not about just them, it's the players you bring around them.
100%.
If you're going to bring on a lot of old people that are like...
Bag of bones that ain't running.
You know what I mean? And bringing Mandem out... You're going to bring Mandem out of retirement. Like Darren Collinson and all this. Like
LeBron, Russ, AD, and a bag of bones. Like LeBron
and let go.
running everyone.
Bare patellas.
Russ is bro.
Like you chose DeAndre Jordan.
Spare ACLs in that, bro.
What
MCL's chilling. What, you want one? Buy one, get one free.
You chose DeAndre Jordan over keeping Alex Caruso. Like, it says it all about your franchise.
Jordan, he's been like
the guy who
he got waived.
They waived him, went to Philadelphia, and now he may never play a basketball game ever again.
fam.
He's never going
Like the fact that he was at Brooklyn, like, I don't even know what they done, and then you saw what happened there. You
still took him and decided, oh, we'll take you over Caruso.
Bro, that was dumb.
A lot of decisions will be made that the Lakers will most likely regret. I don't know if any of you guys have watched Winning Time.
I haven't watched all of it.
Bro, it's good, man. Very, very good. Winning Time.
It's like magic. It's like just the Lakers in
the year the Lakers got bought by the Boss family,
Okay.
which was Magic's rookie year as well, and it very, very good thing. I recommend everyone go and watch that. But
You didn't promo, eh?
yeah, you think they were paying me, innit? But you in that you basically explain all the backstory stuff that happens with the Lakers, and I feel like that drama never stopped.
Yeah.
I just feel like it just stopped being documented, but the drama never stopped. All of the things internally with the family and stuff like that. I think Genie Boss needs to have deep DMCs with Rob Pelinka about his future for this team.
Yeah.
Because they need to make a decision. Is LeBron driving this boat, or are you driving this boat?
Because right now it looks like there's a battle between both of them.
And both of you niggas are driving into an iceberg. About to be a big ass Titanic going on right now, innit? It's not going well at all, because you have to look at the facts. Next year, LeBron is a free agent, I believe.
Next year or the year after?
Next year, I believe. He is a free agent.
Yeah, this is next season, his last season
on his contract.
on his contract. Yeah.
Yes. And I feel like you need to make a decision. I don't think the Lakers should bring back LeBron James next year. Unless you guys want to bring him back, don't bring him back, because that is a. And I'll tell you why.
Unrestricted free agent after next season.
I'll tell you why. Yeah. He's a max contract player. Yeah. Who is not part of your future.
Yeah, but you'll give him a young one, yeah.
For what?
Until
For LeBron's sake, because he's still going to be doing GOAT shit.
You honestly, I've said before, LeBron is my GOAT. However, as the team are currently constructed, you'd be better off, yeah? Wild statement, I'm not going to say it because it's not true. I was going to say you'd be better off with role players. Like getting yourself like 5-6 role players.
He definitely wouldn't, bro.
On vet minimum contracts.
I don't know who else is going to score for us, because AD ain't there.
But even then, like, again, I don't want to see LeBron back at the Lakers averaging 30 points. It's not good for him. It's not. You're killing my GOAT. You need to relax.
Cutting his career even shorter.
Turn him into a fucking Curry GOAT, man. out here mutton and that. I'm not trying to see it. Let my guy
Man
live.
said turn into a curry goat.
Nah, man. I don't want to see LeBron doing any of that. The Lakers need to pattern up big time. And you know, I slightly hope you don't as well. Just from a Clippers fan perspective, I hope you don't. I hope you man suck for a while now, innit?
It's alright, we still gonna win another chip before you do.
Nah, definitely not. Who's more of a favorite next year to win out of the Clippers and the Lakers?
I mean, Clippers have been favourites for how long?
You've been favourites our whole damn life.
To be fair, after what the Nets did and the Lakers did this year, we found out it's not great to be favourites. It's better to be underdogs.
Underdogs, innit?
Yeah.
Just get there, you're like,
Y'all
whoa.
niggas fucking suck.
Alright, yeah, we gonna wrap it up right there. Make sure you guys follow us on all social medias at Take It to the Pod on Twitter, Take It to the Rim Podcast on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. Keep sending them questions. Once off season is here, we're gonna just offload and have a lot of conversations that we need to have a lot of debates as well.
When free agency starts, when the draft starts, that's when I really get into my conspiracy bag. When I start saying who's getting traded.
Our off-season topics are always crazy, so feel free to tune in and drop something now, innit?
Yeah, feel free to shout us as well, and if you want to jump in off-season, you know, we out here. It's gonna be good. Yeah, man. Things that we'll have in the works. Hopefully, we just aim to get that into light as soon as possible when it makes sense. But keep rocking with us. Keep sharing to everyone. You know, your friends, family, baby mama.
Tag us in some shit as well, man. If you see some wild takes, tag us in it, because I like to argue online.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Send us any wild takes, any mad things. Like, just tag us. Just put us there. Put us there. Like, do all of that. Send us stuff into ESPN and all them things there.
Yeah,
like,
man.
bro, you never know. We'll get you some sweets.
Kid over, dude.
Yeah, man. That's it from us. And as LA Jules always likes to end and say,
Over and out, baby.
cut.